I want to dig in a little deeper on some of what you were just saying there, Matthew, so our audience can learn some best practices of working with recruiters. From your perspective, how can someone stand out to a recruiter amongst the sea of other candidates out there?
Would you prefer I start talking about a in-house recruiter, so a recruiter that might see your application once you've applied, or an executive recruiter?
I say let's start with in-house and then executive recruiters.
Yeah, so let's say that your application has been noticed, it's been seen, and you have a phone call, Zoom call, or maybe in-person interview to start with, but typically it's going to be a phone call or maybe a virtual call. My advice to make a strong first impression, first off, is just start with simplicity. Plan your small talk and then kind of be quiet from there. So if you're a job seeker, you're gonna be excited and nervous. Everyone's different, but for me personally, that kind of opens the floodgates. I'll talk a lot. I'll be relieved by having some conversation. You might think that making them laugh, making them like you is a great way to start things off. None of those ideas are wrong, but I've interviewed thousands and thousands of people, and I've seen this happen in person, on the phone. People just start kind of rambling. They start talking quickly, they go off topic. Let the recruiter guide the conversation. That's their job, and that should take pressure off of you. So, as far as planning your small talk, avoid the "How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm good." Find something relevant but that doesn't go too deep. So you don't want to ask a hard question right away at the beginning of the interview. You don't want to ask anything too personal about that. Like, where are you calling from? What, just keep it really simple. Don't say, hey, what's going on at the company? How I saw, you're relocating your new office. I just start with something like, great to meet you. I spent some time on your website and I'm so excited about this one initiative that I saw that you have, something like that. And then just shut up and let them really carry the conversation. They might say, what did you like about it? Or they might say, oh, thank you so much. And then they want to gear up based on their rhythm, their preferred style of the conversation, whether this is in person or on the phone or anywhere else. Recruiters typically have a rhythm they like to get into, and they're waiting to ask you that first question. Whether they're on a time crunch or they really like to keep things consistent, the best way to make a great first impression is saying a little bit less, planning out your small talk, having the thing that one thing you're going to bring up, and they say, "Hey, how are you?" You're going to say, "Great. I went on a excellent hike this weekend." Maybe don't say excellent because that sounds kind of dorky, but I went on this awesome hike this weekend, and the fresh air was exactly what I needed. I'm so glad to be here today. So just if that makes sense, be really careful of the going back and forth. How are you? Good. How are you? Good. How are you? Just share a quick message about either yourself, something healthy you did recently, or something you like about the company that's very kind of surface level. If you're at their office, you can say, I love that artwork or that sculpture out front, something like, how are you? Great. I love that sculpture I saw out front. That's a really cool design. And just stop talking.
Love it.